folks, and welcome back to Games with Nick. Um, so yesterday we left it off where we had just entered the Bloodland factory. So, explore what this wonderful place has to offer. I also had an idea for another game that I would like to stream, and it might be the subject of my Sunday stream. I'm a little worried that maybe having 3 parallel streams might be a bit much, but... Okay... Factory, it's nothing here. Grab the thing when I do it right.
Yes, hello?
Kate, what happened to you, my poor munchkin? I've been trying to contact you for hours.
I'm in Europe, Ma. Job thing.
What? Europe? My God. Oh, I've got such happy memories of Europe. Some of them even involve your father, but that's enough of that. Tell me, where are you? Paris? London? Venice?
Valladolid. Yeah, I know, it's a bit out in the boonies.
What in the world are you doing out there?
You know, business. I've got to see through the takeover of some old family business that's got a few debts. It's a really charming place, but there's 1 or 2 weird things going on here. I can't go into it now.
Oh, well, that's right. Your old mother's too dumb to understand it. You really do take after your father sometimes.
Mother...
Kate, you'll never guess who I saw yesterday?
Ma, I haven't got a lot of time, you know.
Frank!
Ma, please, I've got to go.
Frank Malkovich, the Russian opera singer. Well, maybe you don't remember him. He was quite a star in his day.
Listen, Ma, I really don't have the time. I'll call you back.
He is as charming as he always was. We spent the...
Mom, I really have to go. I'll call you back, I promise. Lots of love.
Kate!
Well, this seems an overbearing mom like many others. What she said will actually have big implications for the story, girl. I still do not believe that you could actually build something like this without any sort of electric thing in it. Alright, so well, that does that. We're about to meet the best character in the whole series as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, many thanks indeed. I am most embarrassed for you to see me like this. I lack a certain completion. You see, nobody here found the time to polish off the finishing touches. Honestly, these days, we really have lost the art of good workmanship.
Yeah, maybe.
With whom do I have the honor of speaking? Could you please state your identity, articulating clearly?
My name is Kate. Kate Walker.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Model XZ2000. My common name is Oscar. I represent the technological zenith of this factory's production. I have been designed to drive a locomotive. A touch messy, but an essential task.
Have you logged my first and last name?
Perfectly. Kate Walker. Pleased to meet you.
Me too, Model XZ2000.
Please, all my friends call me Oscar. This fad for cryptic names is such a bore. Could you imagine being called by your passport number?
I suppose not, Mr. Oscar. Sir. Do you know where I could find the factory paperwork?
I cannot reply to this question with precision. Try Anna Voralberg's office above the machine floor.
When you are complete and totally functional, can you help me gather information about Hans Vorarlberg?
I'm afraid I can't, Kate Walker. Duty calls. Once I've recovered my feet, I have to see to my post on the train. It's waiting for its engineer.
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean something to you?
Of course, he created me. But I'm sorry to say that I am yet to meet my maker.
Have you any idea where he might be right now?
No, Kate Walker, but I am sure I would experience great metaphysical satisfaction in his presence.
You said you were a train engineer? What train would that be?
But Kate Walker, you have not seen the magnificent train waiting at the station?
And where is that train going, Mr. Oscar?
The train is going far away. Very, very far away indeed.
Are you taking any passengers?
My duty is to drive the train. Above all, to avoid delays. An engineer prides himself on punctuality. I will agree with you, though, Kate Walker, that a train without passengers is hardly a train at all.
You haven't answered my question.
For further details, please consult Anna Voralberg.
Do you know Momo?
No, Kate Walker.
Oh, that was funny.
You are a very strange robot.
Automaton, if you please.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
Automatons have an additional soul auxiliary, you understand?
I think so. Has it been a long time since you last saw Anna Vorarlberg?
72 hours, 32 minutes, and 20 seconds to be precise. This regrettable absence explains the delay in my production process.
Anna Vorarlberg is dead, Mr. Oscar.
What do you mean by the notion of death, Kate Walker?
Broken. Disactivated. Worn out. Damaged. Unplugged.
Oh, that really is most bothersome. I'd rather counted on finishing my production.
Can I be of use to you?
Why, you certainly can. I absolutely must have my feet. My hands are Model XZ2003. My feet are Model XZ2005_B. Be careful. The Model XZ2005_A has evidenced some rather embarrassing performance failures.
Like bugs?
Automatons do not have bugs, Kate Walker. They simply display functional idiosyncrasies.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. What do I have to do to get you a pair of feet?
Use the assembly line to construct them. You will need a production punch card, on which is recorded my body design data. Here is my own punch card.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Thank you, Kate Walker.
Oscar, I am delighted to have met you.
I love Oscar.
See you again
He's
soon,
so
I
great.
hope.
Yes, Kate Walker.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing else we can do. Try Anna Voralberg's office upstairs. before we go to Anna's office. Here. Can you not run? Really? No running?
Doesn't look like that works.
Guess I need to put this here. I didn't know what to do, but, you know, factory. No, I'm not really sure it has power yet. And even if it did, there's a bunch of quite know what to do with. Did I? I thought I could do something. There we go. Okay, we're gonna use the voice cylinder we found in Grave.
Hon, where are you hiding? We've got to go home. We're late. Very late. Anna, over there. What do you mean, over there? Please, Hans, we've got to go. It's a secret. You've got to swear. Okay. I, Anna Voralberg, swear to my brother Hans to never ever mention this to anyone.
It's right there! You see? But it's dark in there. Don't worry, I took a lantern. From the factory. Girls, honestly.
You won't look so clever when Father notices you've stolen one of his lanterns. Oh, I'm all covered in mud because of you.
Look, Anna. Look.
I've seen paintings like this in a library book. They're like...
You swore, Anna. It's a secret between you and me. Hey, look. There's something else up there.
Oh, come on.
It's like a toy. I have to have it. Give me some light.
But Hans, it's much too high. Do be careful, Hans. Hans, be careful!
For weeks, my brother lay in a coma, hanging between life and death. And then one morning he opened his eyes, but I knew he would never be the same again. We never did return to the cave, and to this day, I have never ever betrayed our secret.
Sounds like I should probably go to the cave at some point. Right. Valdilan, 6 March 2002. As a reminder, I'm gonna this one. Today is today is April 17th. This was about a month ago. I know how much you dislike the written word, but I do not have the time to forge you a voice cylinder. I imagine that someone in your entourage will be kind enough to read plans to you. I received your latest set of plans. Your project is extraordinary. Your all-time masterpiece, perhaps. Time seems to have had no effect on your achievement, quite the contrary. I'm proud of you, my dear little brother. Sometimes I find it hard to believe a century has gone by since the last time I saw you. It only seems like yesterday that you rushed away from Vladimir. We undertook production immediately, following your instructions to the letter. The locomotive was ready within a week. If only you could see it. But you will see it, that much I have promised you. It is magnificent. It seems impatient to set out on its maiden voyage. There is only Oscar left to build. I hope I will finish him soon. As you can imagine, his mechanism is complex and takes a great deal of time and handling. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand you wish me to bring you that cursed prehistoric doll. The very thought of which I wonder if it's still in the care... Sorry. The very thought of which... I wonder if it is still in the cave, and if it is, what state it is in. But what does 60 years matter, after all, to an object already several thousand years old? I am going to find it, Hans, I promise you. I have a bit of nasty flu at the moment, which is running me down a little. I should be better in a few days, though. The facility at the factory is taking shape. The lawyer from New York should be visiting, and we will be able to sign a contract. Then, I shall... And that's where she ended her life. Locomotive plane. Some miscellaneous papers. Bailiffs. Recovery of outstanding payments. Madame, you have received several warnings from my office concerning penalty charges incurred on unpaid invoices from the company loooooooooong. The all debt for which are responsible currently stands at 40,782.46 francs. Which I believe is about 1,000 euros, which means, $1,200 or so. I strongly advise you to acquit yourself of this debt by sending the necessary funds to our payment center. In the absence of such a response on your part, I will be obliged to undertake legal proceedings against you to recover the outstanding funds. Yours faithfully, Blanchard, Bailiff. Madame, despite numerous follow-up letters on our part, we notice that you still owed a sum of 80,210 francs corresponding to the invoices dated January, February, and March 1998, including increments for late payment. We are asking you to resolve the situation by return of post. In case of non-payment, we will be obliged to suspend all supplies and refer the matter to the relevant legal authorities. We expect to hear from you soon. Dear Anna, I find myself under the obligation to undertake certain procedures against your company. A situation I find particularly painful given the special relationship our bank has enjoyed with your company over the years. You yourself admit that, for some time, Voralberg Manufacturing has become a financial liability, and, shareholder and partnership pressure, I am no longer able to underwrite your debts with the bank. I am sorry to say that we are obliged to comply with the economic imperatives of the era. It is for this reason that I beg you to accept the American investors' proposal. Such a takeover comes at a fortuitous moment, as it is the only way to swell your accounts and sell your debts. It will also enable Voralberg Manufacturing to stay afloat, streamline production, and modernize production techniques. You will thus be able to keep the Voralberg name alive, one that in its day was a guarantee of quality and savoir-faire. Please believe me, Anna, when I say that I offer this advice not just as a banker, but also as an old friend who desires nothing but good. I know that such a decision cannot be taken easily. You can truly hold your head up high, my dear Anna, and proud of your achievements throughout the years. My deepest apologies for bearing such an unpleasant news, and I remain at your entire disposal to yours in dear friendship, Gustave Passery.
Oh my gosh. Invoices, more invoices. I never knew the factory was in such a bad way financially. These last 2 years must have been very hard for Anna Voralberg.
Doesn't seem... Alright. So that's about what we can do in the factory at the moment. Farther in this specific area. This was the main factory, but we had other streets we could walk down in this center plaza. Pretty deep. Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what this is. I just hit this. That's all I need. Yeah. Okay, we'll go back to the factory. Good. Guess it's like oil or something. I love the sound of running water. Music at all. Such a peaceful place. Decadent. This is a full-on train station. So somehow they did not just build a train, they built a train station too? Which, no. Okay. And they have, you know, train station posters. Okay, let's try going on the other side. So we have somebody just cleaning the empty train station? Somebody I can't even talk to. Okay. No? No? Okay. Well, we can probably start by train, I guess. Alright. That is one step forward. That's my bedroom, or it will be my bedroom once we start leaving. Have been placed. So this is the bedroom. This looks so luxurious. Get a full train, all for yourself. Alright. I still need to grab the mammoth from the cave. And to get Oscar his legs. Okay. Hysteria. Oh, yes, the house, of course. I feel like I'm missing the house.
I need a key.
I do not have a key. This door?
The door's locked, but I've still got to get in there.
Okay, I did not remember there being an actual maze in the game. Okay.
Good morning. You've got a magnificent garden here.
Oh, please don't talk about it. Since my gardener automaton broke down, there are weeds everywhere. You can't imagine how much work it takes me. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. We're not used to doing without our robot help here in Veladiland. But everybody says that we're going to have to get used to it.
Okay, very chatty, I see. Yep, sure. Very useful. Thank you. I feel like I washed it up on the sand. Into the labyrinth. So pro tip to solve the labyrinth, just follow one wall, assuming the labyrinth is one entrance and an exit. Follow one wall all the way around.
No point. It's locked.
Let's start by going down this way then. Found a key. I wonder if this step ladder we saw outside. Yes, it looks like. Oh god, I would hate to have to climb that. That's so high. Oh, that is so high. Oh. 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 Also, very careless of these people to just leave a window behind that. But, okay. Who am I to judge?
Mammoth. You draw mammoth for Momo?
Ah, Momo, it's you. You scared me. What are you doing in here?
Momo want mammoth picture, like Hans picture.
Sorry, I haven't got a picture of a mammoth with me.
Take paper and pencil and draw mammoth for Momo.
You don't give up easily, do you? Tell me, Momo. I heard about a cave. You look like a smart little fellow. You wouldn't know where it is, would you?
Draw mammoth for Momo.
Okay, here's the deal. I draw you a mammoth. and you tell me about the cave, okay?
But first, draw mammoths for Momo.
Okay.
You lived with Anna Voralberg, didn't you? Maybe you can tell me a secret or two about how automatons are made.
Anna not want Momo in factory.
Tell me, Momo, did you come here a lot with Anna?
Mm-hmm. Anna like Momo. Anna like Hans. Anna on journey.
It must be fascinating to live in a village full of automatons.
Automatons made by hands. Difficult work. When Momo big, he do like hands. Momo friend of automatons.
What's going to happen to you now that Anna is gone?
Momo big now. They want Momo live at inn. Momo don't want. Momo take care of Momo.
From what I've seen, you look pretty resourceful.
Yeah, but...
Tell me, Momo, I met someone real interesting in the factory. A kind of robot called Oscar. Now, he told me about a train. Anna didn't tell you where it was going, did she?
Train! Train! Choo-choo! Choo-choo! Woo!
Momo, it's okay, it's okay. Do you know if Anna came here often with Hans?
Momo want Mama's picture, like Hans' picture.
Momo, I've got to go now. But see you later, maybe.
Okay, back in the corner. This freaking mammoth had the hardest time seeing. It's a very faint outline on this screen, so it's fucking hard to see if you don't know to look for it. Alright, we get a picture of mammoth. Right, yeah. You enter the actual main house? Oh, no, this is what I'm looking for. Ink and a diary. Okay. Settle in, because this is going to be a long read. May 14th, 1930. Yesterday, something terrible happened. I don't know who to turn to, who to talk to, so I've decided to write it down. You, dear diary, are now my confidant and my full guardian of my secret thoughts. Hans lies in the next room, teetering between life and death, and I am terrified. Oh, the injustice of life. First Mama, then Hans. Please, dear Lord, don't take my little brother away as well. The next day. Hans made me promise to keep this a secret, but its burden is too heavy. I know I can tell you, though, dear diary. We discovered a cave in the mountains, a marvelous cavern with ancient paintings on the wall. Only prehistoric men could have painted them because they were depictions of mammoth, with her prehistoric creatures as well. That much I know. I hate mammoths now. It's all because of them and because of that stupid prehistoric children's story. Why, Hans? Oh, why did you try and take it? And why did I let you climb up there? My fault you're in a coma now. Hans, if you died, I don't know how I could ever forgive myself. The next day, every entrance so far is the next day, so I'm gonna skip saying that. Hans is still in consciousness. Platter cannot sleep, and Gertrude cries all day long. Outside the heat is suffocating, but inside the house is icy cold and dismal. I still have hope, though. I know my brother. I know his strength. He will pull through. He never gives up. I cannot think of anything else but Hans. In all my waking and sleeping dreams, I see his fall over and over. I see his head hitting the rock and his oh-so-pale face softening. I've taken refuge in the attic. It is the only place where I can find any peace, wrapped up in all my memories. 5 days have passed since the accident, and Hans has still not opened his eyes. A scene like this is unbearable. Please, God, protect him. Take my life, not his. I feel so desperate, so alone. I want to snuggle up in Father's arms, but I dare not. He's just so impassive. Oh, Hans, don't leave me here. It has happened! Hans has come back to life! He opened his eyes and uttered my name. My name! Do you realize? This is the happiest day of my life. I want to take you to the streets and sing, to proclaim my joy to the world. Thank you. Oh, thank you, God. A couple days later, how wonderful, how beautiful life is. Gertrude and I cannot stop breaking into uncontrollable fits of giggles. Hans even wolfed down his meal today. I knew he was tough, my little brother. Even Father smiled at me today when he said good morning. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I'm totally absorbed in Hans's recovery. I have scarcely 5 minutes to myself to return to my refuge and scribble down these words. 4 days later, it is very curious. Whether Hans is hungry, thirsty, or if he wants something, he cannot stop saying my name. He can't bear it when I leave him, even for an instant. Gertrude thinks that I should move my bed into his room to help him sleep better. I hope that Father will agree. There was the first day that Hans has left the house. We went for a short walk in the garden, but Hans is still very weak. The doctor said we should be patient and shouldn't rush him. It is so hard, though. I hope so much that life can return to how it once was. Now we are 3 weeks later. Hans has been out of coma for a month now. He still doesn't say much and has difficulty. He sits motionless for long periods of time, his eyes wide open, still lost in thought. I have often had to call his name several times before he reacts. Then he will smile, and when he does, the moment is magic for me. He couldn't possibly be happier. I had to talk to him. The burden was too great. I asked Hans about the accident in the cave to find out what he could. He could utter only one word: mammoth. His eyes glowed so strangely when he said it that he frightened me. Now all the way to September. I go back to school today, and for the first time in my life, I am dreading it. I'm afraid of leaving Hans alone. Despite Gertrude's kindness and attention, I have the impression that Hans is much less nervous when I'm here. A month later, while I was doing my homework yesterday evening, Hans crept up on me so quietly that he made me jump. He took a pencil and a blank sheet of paper, and curiously, he started drawing. It is the first time since his accident that he has done anything. Hans scribbles almost obsessively. It is all he will do, all day long. I feel I know his father. Nobody else understands, but I can see that Hans is trying to draw mammoths. November 16. Today's my birthday, and Gertrude has made me an apple pie, my favorite. But Father has not returned home for lunch, and Hans hasn't come to me. The best present I could ever have is to see Hans back on his recovery. Christmas. Snow is falling. It is so beautiful. January. The doctor visited to examine Hans. He seems happy that my little brother has fully recovered his faculties. It truly is a miracle. I don't understand why he doesn't talk more, though. Why isn't he livelier like he was before? February 9th. It is Hans's birthday. Today he's 11 years old. I have the strangest impression that he actually has lost 5 years right now. February 24th. The doctor has just left. I saw him whispering with Father. Their serious expressions worried me awfully. What could they be hiding from me? I am grown up now. At the age of 15, you can understand everything. I am too scared to ask Father what is happening. March 15th. I have been thinking, and it seems to me that Hans's attitude is normal. The shock of the fall in his coma must have had much more serious effects than... Hans, my dear brother, what is happening to you? April 4th. I have discovered the truth. Hans is stunted, physically and mentally. I eavesdropped a conversation between the doctor, Father, and Gertrude. Gertrude buried her tear-filled eyes in her apron. Father muttered the word retard under his breath. How could he say such a thing? Again, disclaimer that the way that he treats developmental issues in this game, not great! Not great. It was the early aughts. People were not particularly sensitive about this issue. But, moving on. April 13th. It is Easter and we're on school holidays. Means I can spend all day with Hans and protect him from Father's permanent dark mood. I cannot accept the fact that Hans, his only son, will stay in the state forever. April 14th. It is really difficult to accept, but it is not Hans's fault. Mine maybe, but not Hans's. I don't know how to make father understand. He seems full of hatred for him. It is dreadful. I feel so powerless. May 14th. 1 year. 1 year has gone by and it feels like an eternity. The situation shows no sign of improvement, either in terms of Hans's mental health or his father's attitude towards him. May 30th. Extraordinary! Father has decided to take Hans to Paris for new tests. He says that only in the French capital will we find truly competent doctors. We must make Hans ready for the great expedition. June 6th. No news from father and Hans, but I remain hopeful. I am sure they will take good care of my little brother. July 15th. They have returned. Hans rushed into my arms and started crying. It took me a long time to calm him down and get him to sleep. Father is still as taciturn as he was before he left. French doctors have confirmed the diagnosis. Hans will remain physically and mentally impaired. I am sick. August 28th. The summer is coming to a close. It's been less stifling than the last. The sun has put color in Hans's cheeks. When I look at him, I have difficulty imagining it watching. November 16th. Father still says nothing and increasingly shuts himself away in his office in the factory. Christmas. Scripture tells me that love and faith triumph over any science. I like neither. God be praised. January 12th. Father took Hans to the factory this morning. Hans was so afraid that I accompanied them. Fortunately, Father said nothing. I failed to understand why he insisted on bringing him. The next day. Father left for the factory with Hans once again this morning. I think he wants to persuade Hans that he could be useful for something. It is his way of resisting fate. February 17th. For a month now, every morning, Hans has gone to work with Father at the factory. I'm not exactly sure what he does there, but he seems to enjoy it. I feel my brother's behavior has changed considerably. He is much less capricious. April 14th. I could cry! Hans has made me a present. A small robot mammoth with a trunk that rises and falls. When Father saw it, he nodded his head in satisfaction. May 20th. Hood, Gertrude, and Father now have their own robot mammoth. Theirs are even more intricate and finely tuned. Little brother is not such a after all. Hans's mammoths now walk, raise their trunks, and wag their tails. It's incredible. I met the head of the factory workshop, Mr. Grips, this morning. He says that for a young lad of 12, Hans is very gifted. It is a shame he only makes elephants. February 11th, 1933. Father and Hans were locked in a long discussion yesterday, or should I say Hans was locked in one of Father's long monologues. As it is inconceivable that Hans should go to school like other children, Father wants to take him as a worker at the factory. However, Hans will stop making his own little devices. Hans's silence, his half-gaping mouth, and staring eyes finally send Father off into it. February 12th. I tried to broach the subject with Hans. I suggested he should obey Father. Learning a craft at the factory is his one chance to do something constructive with his life. He is so gifted and takes so much pleasure in making automatons. It did look like he wasn't listening, but I know he'll think about what I said. February 20th. It's not that Hans cannot speak, it's rather that he doesn't want to speak. He uses the least possible words for communication. Except for me, but he's still very economical with words. May 15th, so a whole 3 months later. Incredible! Hans was not just satisfied with learning how the assembly line works, instead he has completely redesigned it. Father and Monsieur Grips are taking a serious look at his plans. July 10th. Father's wanted to talk to me about my future since I passed my exams. He wants to send me to university because he says my intelligence is astounding. My heart was beating so loud. It is true that I do love studying, but I couldn't bear to be Hans. September 2nd. What a ghastly summer. I have been permanently torn between my desire to go to university and my refusal to leave my brother. I talked about it with Hans, but he said nothing. That same evening, I found my own little mammoth broken. October 9th. Hans had another fit of hysterics at dinner again. Father announced that Hans's new assembly line would soon be finished. However, they have removed the automaton parrots that shout orders as they were deemed superfluous. Hans was livid. He hurled the soup dish to the ground and stormed off in his bedroom. What will happen between the both of them when I'm not here? October 17th. Despite my scruples, I am finally leaving. Hans has not talked to me for a week. Father would not understand if I told him why I wanted to. Mahars. Christmas. It is so strange to be home. I had never left for such a long time before. Once we were alone, Hans did not stop talking. Words just leaped from his mouth. How we laughed at his excitement. He presented me with a delightful little ballerina. She replaced the mammoth. I was so touched that I started crying. Distance has done nothing to harm strong bonds. September 10th, so, full like 9 months after. It was strange to pick up this diary once more. At first, my impulse was to tear it up, but I resisted and instead succumbed to my second desire, which was to write for a while. I am alone in my attic once more. I have been home for 2 months now, and after a summer spent living with the intense joy of being reunited with my brother, Hans has returned to the factory. Father has aged so, and Gertrude's arthritis causes her terrible pain. December 13th, 1937. Oh, yeah, no, we did a giant... Never mind 9 months, it was like 4 years almost. Skip to the diary. We're now in 1937. All in all, these last 4 years have been kind to Father and Hans. The relationship is less tense. They still do not exchange much conversation, but now they do have a thing in common. The factory. I'm beginning to feel a bit jealous. Silly, really. Hans hasn't changed. Help Gertrude has designed a totally automated kitchen, and Gertrude can't stop moaning at the wooden puppets. Oh, how I adore them. October 9th. I went to go see Father and Hans at work. I hadn't been to the factory for ages. It's strange how much has changed. I was very curious to see them set about their tasks. I like Father's new office very much. Hans has a small workshop on the first floor, crammed with odds and ends, unfinished robots and designs. Exactly as I imagined it, in fact. October 15th. The factory is working very well. Orders for toys keep coming in, spurred on by the run-up to Christmas. When I was at university and I said my name was Voralberg, people would ask me if I had any relation to the Valladolid factory. Now I know the effect that Hans's genius has had on the factory. November 2nd. To make myself useful, I started helping Father set his papers in order. The most extraordinary thing of all is that for the first time ever, I have the impression that the three of us form a real family. December 8th. Hans never ceases to surprise me. Between home and the factory, his behavior is so very different. In his workshop, he's a serious concentrator, a proper young man who keeps his eye on everything going on, constantly on the move and in control. One has the impression that each single toy is his very own infant. At home, he turns back into a child once more and is either moody or happy-go-lucky before. Christmas. The most wonderful Christmas of my whole life. Hans and I could not stop giggling like children because Father's disappointment. I know that it was only pretending, really. Our hearts are so full of hope. January 5th, 1938. Hans came to see me in my bedroom yesterday. I felt terribly awkward, terribly ill at ease. I might have guessed. Hans wants to leave. Leave Valladolid. The house and the factory. He wants to go traveling. Doesn't know where to or for how long. It's just like him. I was so shocked that I told him his plans were foolish. I left my room without a word. January 7th. I thought that he wanted to leave because of Father. Not at all! Because of the mammoths. He wants to go trekking mammoths. I thought he had gotten over his obsession. I know my brother only too well. I wouldn't dream of telling him this quest is useless. It isn't worth it. He will not listen to me. I was so selfish the other evening. I returned to talk to Hans and asked him gently if he was sure of his decision. I already know what the reply is going to be. Nothing will make him change. January 19th. Despite my profound sadness and despair, I must help Hans fulfill the destiny he presents and announce the news to Father. I feared the worst. The worst was worse than my fears. Father's anger was terrifying. Oh, sorry. The worst, what happened, was worse than my fears. Father's anger was terrifying. He shut Hans away in his workshop at the factory and has forbidden all visits except from Gertrude. February 1st. Father has decided that Hans should remain locked up for as long as it takes him to abandon his infantile decision. Gertrude tells me that Hans is very despondent yet highly resolute. The worry is driving him mad. Yes, That's honestly pretty shitty behavior on the dad's part. Not great. February 6th. As soon as Gertrude returns from the factory, I hasten to get use of my brother. He doesn't say anything. He just fiddles with bits and pieces. He replies everything. I've tried desperately to reason with father, but I know I am just wasting. February 9th, 1938. Hans is 18 years old today, and he's all on his own for his birthday. February 20th. In secret, Gertrude delivered me a small robot from Hans. It's a robot of us as children. It works with a small cylinder punched with tiny holes. Heard it with emotion as it turned. The message it gave was simple, telling me he loved me very, very. Gertrude gave me a different cylinder from today's toy. Hans is truly incredible. He has found a means of communicating between us and us alone in total secret. February 27th. My days are spent eagerly awaiting Hans's messages. He is now resolved to run away. He is preparing his escape. Like if it was a game. March 6th. Gertrude has returned and she is beside herself. Hans has disappeared. Father has not even deigned to return to the workshop where he locked up his son in order to find out how he managed to escape. He just gave me a black look as if he knew we were up to something behind his back. March 7th. It is beginning to dawn on me that Hans is gone. I miss him so much. Lord, please protect my little brother and watch over him for me. March 11th. With Hans now gone, Father now locks himself away night and day at the factory. The house is so gloomy now. This morning I caught Father in the drawing room installing a coffin on a trestle. The sight of it made my blood freeze. What on earth is he up to? The questions meet only with story silence and a permanent black countenance. Behind closed curtains, the drawing room with a coffin surrounded by huge candles has become a veritable funeral chamber. March 14th. This is ghastly. I've just understood what Father is up to. This morning, the priest came to pray before the coffin and I finally caught on. Father is in mourning for the death of Hans. Father made the priest believe that his son was dead. How could he do such a thing? In the madness occasioned by his grief, my father grows even more cold and calculating. He contacted his old friend, Dr. Schmoll, who duly drew up a bona fides death certificate, without even seeing the body. I dare not imagine what yarn is spun. Hans's funeral will be officially held next Sunday. Father strictly forbade me to attend. The sordid masquerade makes me feel ill. But I cannot denounce its subterfuge, or else it will display my father's mental instability to the world. The shame would kill him, that much is certain. I have to get away. Far, far away. Monthly. No! I will not leave. I have thought long and hard. My life is here, next to my father. He needs me too much now. The factory needs me because my father is incapable of running it now. Besides, I can only find peace of mind among Hans's robots. And how shall I know when he has sent me new ones if I'm not at home to receive them? No, I shall not leave. My destiny is to remain here and keep. Whew. Alright. That was 20 minutes. Lots of reading, lots of talking, but we get a fuller picture of what has happened so far and the really terrible things, multiple things that Hans's father has said and done.